Here's a chunk of just random 1/4-inch scrap iron. This thing has been super cool. Well, look at that. That's some 1/4-inch plate that I bent like it was nothing. Makes a really nice clean bend too. Hey guys, today's Dale's Tool of the Day video is on our 150-ton hydraulic press brake that we built. This thing has been awesome.
Tools are cool. Tools are cool. Tools are cool. Dale's Tool of the Day.
So, I've always been fascinated with bending metal. Ever since I was a kid and I worked in a welding shop, they had this really cool old mechanical brake. And it had a big flywheel that clanked around, and when you'd hit a pedal, it'd come clanking down, and a big die would bend the metal, and you'd have to like adjust these big wheels to get it all set to the right depth so it came down the right amount and would bend your piece of metal. And that was cool, but it was scary. And I always liked the idea of a hydraulic one. Well, I was pretty broke, and I ended up collecting a bit of overage scrap metal, and I ended up spending some of my own good dollar bucks to put this puppy together. And it's got 7-inch diameter hydraulic rams, 2 of them, that run off of my hydraulic system. And I don't know the stroke on these. I think they're 8 inches of stroke or maybe 10 inches. I'm not sure. But I built this thing. I drilled a whole bunch of holes in some 1-inch by 8-inch flat bar. And I built the bottom part that holds the dies out of 1-inch by 8-inch and 1-inch by 6-inch flat bar. There's a lot of metal and iron in this, guys. So when I first built it, it just had this middle section and the end sections, which yet again, a bunch of 1-inch flat bar on some rectangular tubing feet. And I had this, well, when I first built it, I didn't even have the I-beam on it. I just had these flat bars and a big old 10-inch grater blade to be the die plate that would come down and press in. And I used some 4140 1.25 steel hardened rods for my dies, and that has served us pretty well. It'll bend most ranges of metal. Granted, it puts kind of a big radius in thinner metal. I know that a good CNC brake would make a lot nicer, cleaner brake, but this has been amazing for our little welding shop here. And so with that grater blade, that's, it'd come down at like a 60-degree angle, and you could bend stuff way past the 90, which was okay in theory, other than most of what I needed to bend was to a 90-degree angle. So I ended up just bolting this big, thick chunk of angle iron. In fact, there's 2 different chunks of angle iron in here welded together. And so we bend most things just straight to a 90. You just bend it all the way till it hits that and stop, and you're there. And that works super good. I can still take that off if I need to overbend something past a 90. But honestly, in the years that we've used this thing, I rarely do that. About the only thing that we've ever done other than this 90 degree was we built a really cool bed once for a roustabout company that had all radius corners. The whole entire bed had an 1 7/8 die that we built for this, and we could bend a roll on the edge of a thing, and it made the outside like 3-inch diameter. And that was a 3-inch radius on every toolbox we built, on the edges of the bed, on everything. And then we ended up wrapping the whole pipe, or the whole edge, like up and around the fender wells and everything with pipe, around the back of the bed with pipe, the headache rack wrapped up in pipe. And the whole thing was just beautiful. I ended up building a thing for the press where I heated up a piece of steel and pressed a piece of 10-gauge plate down into this red hot piece of steel that was in like a big heavy duty collar, so it would dome the heavy 1/2-inch plate. And I used a 2 7/8 ball bearing and pressed it into there, and that made like the perfect dish. So we'd cut these little kind of, oblong triangles we ended up making a template for the plasma cutter where we could just cut these little pieces out, go to the press them into that, and you have a perfect corner that was perfectly round. And we ended up making that roustabout bed. That was sure a thing of beauty. Man, that was kind of a pain in the butt trying to get all those radiuses right and get all the corners just dialed in. But man, when we got done, that thing was just a work of art. Like, I'm kind of sad that they're tearing it up roustabouting on it. But what do? You know, they paid me pretty good for it. So there's that. Anyhow, so when I first built this, like I say, I only had these flat bars and the grater blade. And you'd go to bend stuff, and I got 150 tons of power here, which is enough to dome that flat bar and that grater blade. I thought it would be way stronger, you know, because I'm not an engineer, and I just give it a go and give it a try, you know. And, you know, this thing will bend an amazing amount of stuff. And I think about the biggest that we can bend is probably 5/16, 8 foot long, which is pretty good. About the thickest we ever really push it to is 1/4 inch. And that's mostly the thickest we do. We've bent a lot of stuff that's, you know, 3/8 or half and smaller chunks over the years, but that's pushing it pretty good for a homemade press, you know, break. So I added the I-beam to reinforce it. Like I say, it was doming over. And then my buddy Trevor came to work for me, and we had, yet again, when we went to do that roustabout bed, I was like, we need to make some upgrades to this brake. And that's when we put this truss piece on, and we use this big bolt here on the top and a big bolt on the bottom to reinforce this so that it can no longer bow up, and we can adjust how much it does crown so that you can compensate for any of that. And we added quite a bit down here to just make it just beefy as all get out. We got flat bars going this way and flat bars going that way. And now it doesn't bow, it doesn't move, and it is pretty solid. This thing is heavy duty, but it's also pretty heavy. But this thing has been awesome for the shop. Well, enough gabbing. Here's a chunk of just random 1/4 inch scrap iron. So I have 2 hydraulic levers. You can make each side work independently, or you can run them together. And that's how wide it can open. It can open really wide. That's how we were able to put that pipe die and stuff in there. This thing has been super cool. Well, look at that. That's some 1/4 inch plate that it bent like it was nothing. Makes a really nice clean bend too. We use this thing a lot, and this thing has just saved our bacon. It is so much easier being able to bend a piece of metal to the angle you need rather than having to weld 2 pieces together all the time. We've built tanks. We've built so many different things with this thing. You know, we built fuel tanks for farmers. You just bend them all out and they go over, and you weld one seam all the way around and they're done. It's I don't know. We've done so many different things with this. Oh, we got some stop plates on here that we just clamp on. So this is 6 inches wide here. So we know the center is 3 inches. If we need to bend a 2 inch lip on something, we just put these little blocks that have a 1 inch spacer on there. Boom, bend it up, ready to go. You can clamp however much space with a flat bar on there, put in your piece, bend it. It's been This thing has just been so handy over the years. Like, it is amazing. For a homemade press brake, this thing is done awesome. So, well, that's Dale's Tool of the Day video for today, guys. Remember, me and Jesus love you. Talk to you later.